True. Let me just okay, guys, we're going to get started. It is 10:04 and I have a lot of things to share with you today. So we want to start off the meeting just by introducing our new insurance support partner, Naomi. Now I have to be able to see somebody here. Show video panel. There we go. Okay. I didn't see anybody and it was freaking me out. So Naomi, I think if you speak, then, well, where's Joe? Is Joe still on the phone?
I am. I'm right here.
Oh, okay, good, Joe. I can't see you anymore, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to finish a quick call, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, no, forgive me. So anyway, I know you were going to start off today, so.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for letting me go first, and thank you, everybody. It's great. Hopefully the Zoom meetings eventually will be coming to an end, but it has its place. So good morning. I just wanted to cover just a couple things. You're going to be seeing a really cool video today. You guys all know who Buffini is and Risk Media. And basically what they're going to do, the video is going to go quick, but it's very, very informative. And they kind of give you a look into what it's going to take to remain very competitive in this market going forward. So just keep an open mind and watching the video. And I know you guys are going to debrief it after, but I just want to start off by just congratulating you guys, you know, and you know, the year is excellent, but I know the year is tough because inventory is tight. And so far, year to date, your inventory listings taken are up by 24%. Your buyer side sales are up by 38%. Your revenue units are up by 38%. So these are massive growth numbers. Your median sale price is up 13%. In the region, it's 26. So you have to take your core towns and see. What that means is a core town where the homes are at 450 or 500, you could see 25% improvement. Where the homes are more expensive, it might be a little bit less. So everything for the first 4 months of the year, believe it or not, has been really, really, really strong. You know, the magic in this is going to be sustaining it through the balance of the year, and you're going to continue to have incredibly low rates, which gives us very strong buying power. You're going to have tremendous buyer demand, which is not backing down. The key to the whole thing is going to be the inventory, managing your inventory, and making sure that you give the sellers the exposure that they need and deserve to get the homes done. So I would highly encourage exclusive listings. So for listing agents, many times when a home is going to be coming on the market, right? They say to me, Joe, we're going to list a house in 3 weeks. We're going to list a house in a month. My suggestion is taking it exclusive at that point, like a stage 1 marketing, so you can get a hold of the home, because as soon as they start working on the house, right, putting the new screen door on, replacing the shrubs, the dumpster shows up, people are going to be knocking on their door to find out what's going on. So you want to have that as an exclusive to protect yourself prior. Plus, by having the exclusive, they'll actually move a little bit quicker to get the work done that they need to get done to get the house on the market. So I'm very excited about this year. This year will be better than 2020. You are experiencing the strongest real estate market conservatively in 20 years. This doesn't even rival 04 and 05. It's much, much stronger, because very rarely, and I know we're in the middle of it and we deal with the problems and the stress, and I get that, but very rarely you have buyers with you, you have sellers with you, you have strong consumer confidence, and you've got free money. When you have all of those things going on, that is a rocket loaded with fuel for an amazing, amazing real estate market. The biggest challenge is just keeping your eye on the prize, and the prize is inventory, making sure that you're really scrubbing your buyers through with Anthony so they know their buying power, and enjoy it. It's going to be a really, really exciting year. It's never easy. That's just why they need us. But all the stars are aligned for everybody to do much better than they did last year. So I'm very, very excited and very positive about that. Anybody have any questions for me before we just have a small announcement, good announcement for you guys? No? Okay. I know we're not face to face, but can we all give Missy some appreciation? I tell you, Missy, I think I'm gonna give Missy some appreciation. She is, in my opinion, just absolutely outstanding. She's a great business partner, and I know how she cares and works hard for all you guys. So thank you, Missy, for all you do for us. Eric Nielsen, you're on the line.
Yes, sir. How you doing? How's everybody this morning?
I'm doing great. So, a very important part of our value, which differentiate us, is our all under one roof value proposition with our mortgage, title, and insurance. And we wanted Eric to come on this morning and announce our realignment with insurance, which is very exciting. And, insurance is one of those things that we all have to have and need to have. You just want to make sure you're insured properly. So personally, I have all my insurance with Weichert Insurance, the same as you could do. And I have it reviewed every single year. Do I have the right deductibles? Do I have the right insurance? Is there something I could get rid of? Is there something I don't have? I always wind up having good insurance at a great price. So both are important. So Eric, I'll hand it over to you for the announcement of our new folks and give some backstory.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. We also have Bobby Puzik on the line, and we have our new insurance advisor for the office, Naomi DiCostanzo, on the line as well. For those that aren't aware yet, Bobby's taken on a new role within Weichert Insurance Agency, a very exciting new role for us. It's a new division of our sales team that we just put into place to capture additional opportunities that we've decided we're going to focus on more intensely in 2021. And we really feel that Bobby is the right person to help us lead that effort. So we're very excited for Bobby, as I know he is excited for the opportunity. And Bobby's on the line right now. And in addition to that, we have Naomi DiCostanzo. Naomi joined us a couple of months ago from State Farm. So she comes to us very well experienced with State Farm. And prior to that, another carrier called USAA. Naomi's going to work with the corporate office starting today. And we're looking forward to also attending the Cinco de Mayo event at 12 o'clock. So in addition to having Naomi visible right now and introducing her, look forward to participating myself as well at 12 o'clock and seeing everybody in person. Naomi, if you would like to take a minute and just introduce yourself and let everybody know a little bit about your background, I'm going to hand the mic off to you.
Thank you for the introduction, Eric. Hi, everyone. Just a little about myself. I was born and raised in Alaska. I moved to Florida as a teenager. I say that only because a lot of people tend to remember me like, oh yeah, you're the Alaska girl. So I haven't lived that down as of yet. I started in insurance 9 years ago with USAA, which is a military insurance. Also with State Farm as well from New York. So I'm experienced with New York as well as New Jersey insurance. As Joe mentioned, it's really important to actually review your insurance yearly because also like with us working from home, you're not driving as much annually. A lot of people had changes with their situation and jobs during the pandemic. So it's definitely good to do yearly. And you get a $50 gift card for doing it if you're a realtor. So, keep me busy with that initially. And, I just look forward to answering any questions. If you guys have flood determinations, send them my way. My contact information will be available. I'll also be there today at the food truck if you'd like to ask any questions or get to just say hello. I look forward to working with you guys and seeing continued successes for this year.
Thank you, Naomi. Welcome.
And I would just like to add a heartfelt thanks to Bobby for all he's done to work with the office. Bobby, again, has been with us, I believe, about 5 or 6 years now, has done a tremendous job. And we're very proud of his efforts and look forward to his continued success within Weichert Insurance Agency.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. You guys are a phenomenal office. Definitely, without thinking twice, it's bittersweet. It really is. You guys have been awesome. You guys are like family, and I know, Eric and I, we had a lot of discussion, and I mean, Eric handpicked Naomi for this, so couldn't be more proud, and couldn't be happier. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys at 12 o'clock. I'm going to drop by also. That's it.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby, for your
Thank you.
service with us. Thank you for your time and welcome, Naomi. We look forward to a successful partnership with you moving forward. We're really, really excited.
Thank you, Missy. Likewise.
Thank you, Missy.
Okay. All right, everybody, listen, congratulations. Enjoy your meeting. Really listen intently to Buffini and to Risk Media. I mean, this is, not a Weicker thing. These are national people that have a really great view as a way to remain competitive and differentiate ourselves with the public. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Joe.
My pleasure.
attending. So our main madness listing activities, right? We have to be consistent in our business, and we have to be doing daily income producing activities every day to be successful, right? Even though the hard days, the good days, any days, we have to stay consistent, especially in a market like we're in today. So this is just a example of what you should be doing on a daily basis. So everybody should print this out or mark their calendars and have a plan in place moving forward in your daily business. So life begins at the end of your comfort zone, right? If you want to grow, you have to get uncomfortable. We know that, right? There's no comfort without growth, okay? So make sure that, you're pushing yourself, you're holding yourself accountable, you're grabbing an accountability partner, whatever you need to do to be able to get uncomfortable, you need to do it, especially again in this market. This market is making us all very uncomfortable, right? It's so challenging. So make sure that you are doing what you need to do, and a little uncomfort can go a long way in your business. Again, welcome Naomi. Here's her information. So you'll have these in your slides. Make sure that you put her information into your phones and your, in your contacts so that you have her information whenever you need it. So without further ado, we are going to take a few minutes to listen to the state of the market. And I listened to it before and I thought it was really, really worth your time. So here we go. Can you guys hear it on Zoom?
Welcome, everyone. The first quarter is in the books, and we're all working hard to make sure our next quarter is successful and profitable. And we're all excited to have our good friend and industry icon, Brian Buffini, here to give us his insights going forward. So, Brian, welcome to Spring Into Action. Tell us what's going on in the real estate marketplace. It's going strong, but it's uncertain.
Yeah.
So what do agents need to do to keep their mojo from disappearing in this inventory shortage and fast rising prices? What are the most productive agents and teams and brokers doing to not only survive, but thrive in this strong seller's market?
Well, thanks for having me, John. Great to see you. Yeah, it's a little cuckoo out there. You and I have been around the business a long time, 35 years for me. And I've experienced things like this before, but not with as many factors, where the stock market is so hot. There's so much cash in the system. There's so much cash on the sidelines. The government is infusing cash in the midst of what's already proven to be a rebound, and plans on infusing more cash. So we are going to be floating up to our eyeballs in liquidity here for some time. And it is a little frustrating. I just been involved in a purchase myself here recently, and just many offers. This was not an inexpensive property, all cash, all overpriced, over list, over ask. And so I think what we're challenging our clients to do is really to focus on the fundamentals, make long-term decisions, not short-term decisions. And there's a little bit of short-term decision-making going on that could end up hurting some people's reputation. Ultimately, I think you want to leverage every buyer you have to get a listing. There's still an enormous amount of pent-up demand to move. And there's a bunch of sellers. All the evidence says that by the end of the third quarter, there's a bunch of people who've planned on a move, who want to move, have been unsure of making a move, want to make sure COVID's over, don't want sick people coming through their house. So I think one of the things is I may have a buyer for your home, directed letters to directed markets where you have a buyer who's actually interested, to unlisted inventory, and write the letters. I use a little sticky note. I actually just bought a house for my kids. They live a block away from the college they were at, and I have 4 kids in the same university. So we bought a house. It was unlisted. I wrote a letter. Hey, I'm a buyer. I want to buy a home. I sent it out. I got several responses. So I think you can leverage your buyers through directed target marketing to go and generate some inventory. It is nuts. There are some fundamentals that are not being held true. We have to kind of go with the flow, do the best we can, and strap in. There's going to be turbulence, but I think as long as the seatbelt's on, we'll be okay.
Well, that's an interesting insight. And having just gone through this process yourself adds a lot, I'm sure, to what you're giving to all of your clients and coaching customers. So let's take a look at, Brian, it looks like inflation might be rearing its ugly head. Interest rates are going to be rising. And with those two components, as well as obviously the industry shortage of the inventory, tell us how you're addressing those specific issues to your clients today.
Well, obviously, we know inflation's coming. It might not come right away, but it is coming. It has to. You can't pump $6 trillion in cash into the system and not have that happen. And demand is up everywhere. I think the big thing, and it's going to kind of add to the madness, is obviously the greatest hedge against inflation are assets with fixed expenses. Well, the greatest asset with a fixed expense right now is real estate. And people know this. I mean, if you're able to buy a piece of real estate, lock in a 30-year mortgage at a very low interest rate, you're hedging against inflation as real estate. And so it's only going to create even more demand, which, by the way, will create even more inflation here for a bit. So I say to my customers, help your clients buy a home and keep a home. And then also, if you can, buy real estate yourself and hold it, because holding real estate is going to be the best protection against inflation you can find.
That's interesting, Brian, and it's, I think, some very savvy insight. Now, I look at your clients. You reach and advise thousands and thousands of not just agents, but also agent teams, as well as brokers. So let's talk about agent teams for a moment. It seems to us that the numbers pointed towards agent teams in the last 6 months to a year seem to have adopted quickly to the challenges facing our industry over the last year. Do you see that continuing? What advice do you give agent teams going forward in the next 30, 60, and 90 days?
Yeah, very important. Well, obviously, look, 40% of the people we coach have a team. And we've been making significant commitment to the whole areas of supporting teams and so on and so forth. You know, obviously, teams get a lot of credit. You know, one of the reasons you can give teams credit is because they're able to go back to a 50-50 split. And John, you and I have been around the block long enough to know a 50-50 split. If a broker could get a 50-50 split today, they're in high cotton. I mean, it's great stuff. So the fact of the matter is teams are able to adapt because they got resources. They got resources, and they got resources that a lot of brokers can't access unless they've got significant size brokerage. My big concern for teams is I'm seeing a lot of teams over leverage themselves right now. You know, you got to be very careful about building your business plan based on the very top of the mountain. You know, the rates are low, sales are going off the charts. They're going to continue to go off the charts. I think we're going to have a crazy year. I think it's going to be raging hot all year long. It's very, very important that you don't build your business model around the hottest market you can have. One of the things we encourage people to do is what's called have a referral agent. That rather than buy more buildings or get great bigger space, there might be agents in your neighborhood, or maybe you have a team inside a brokerage, and there's agents inside the brokerage that are not necessarily performing at the highest level, where you can say, hey, would you like to handle some of our surplus leads? We'd like you to call as a part of our team. They're an agent in their own right. They pay their own expenses. But one of the things we know, John, we've been around the block a long time, be careful with the escalation of your fixed expenses during a boom, because, things level out. It's like calls in basketball. They eventually level out. And so we're going to have this overheated market here for a while. We're going to have this shortage of inventory for a while. We're going to have these low interest rates for a while. But this too shall pass. Be careful that you don't get yourself cornered into some very expensive fixed overhead as a team leader. So I would encourage you to be smart about your growth. And if you can farm out leads and get referral fees, that's not a bad thing, instead of taking on, I'm going to buy this building and this is just going to continue on at this rate forever. Be careful.
Great advice, Brian. Couple of quick questions. One, this particular event is supported by 30 of the largest and most successful regional brokerage firms around the country, as well as some other great players in our space. The brokerage firms that are involved in this particular event have extremely strong, viable brands. They also have many of the top agents in their local marketplaces. What advice can you give the agents working for these strong, great firms on how they should be syncing their personal branding along with the strength of the brand of the brokerage they work with?
I think it's the single biggest mistake made in the real estate business today, is that, I don't care how successful an agent is or how big a team is. If you're working for a brokerage that has a great local, region, or national or international brand, separating yourself from that is a mistake. You want to wrap your arms around it, because there's coverage, there's brand promise, there's a sense of comfort that the customer has. There's also resources and tools available, whether we know right now we're looking at the highest number of out-of-market moves in the last 50 years in real estate. If you're part of a national brand, for example, or part of a group that's connected to relocation, you want to leverage that in your favor. And so I grew up in real estate in the 1980s, where it was all personal promotion and boofed up dudes and standing in front of the Rolls Royces and whatever else. And agents, started to self-promote. And I just think that pendulum went too far. There are so many top agents, you don't know what company they work for. And some brands haven't maintained a brand consistency with signs and other things like that. But the ones that have, as a top agent, as a team, you want to lean into those brokerages. And if you're leading a large brokerage, you want to let people know what the brand promise of your organization is, and how every agent needs to be able to take that brand promise, that unique selling proposition, and wrap themselves around it and be the 800-pound gorilla.
Brian, I've got one final question for you, and that is regarding Zillow. Zillow is making lots of headlines around the country. Obviously, a couple of months ago, they acquired Showing Time, and they're in the process of hiring W-2 agents. Okay, give us your insights on what's happening there, and then to wrap up this segment, give us your crystal ball quickly as far as what do you see the remainder of the year producing for our agents?
Okay. Well, let me speak specifically to Zillow, okay? I want to tell the real estate industry, I freaking told you so. And, these were hardcore, publicly traded people that came from the travel agency and other businesses and decided, hey, here we go. We're gonna eliminate the real estate agent. And here's what I'm going to say. I want to say this because the genie's already out of the bottle with Zillow. The real estate industry, it's like the story in the Bible of Jacob and Esau, where Esau had a chance to inherit his father's fortune and instead sold out his fortune for a bowl of stew. And that's what I saw the real estate business do. A little bit of sponsorship, a little bit of whining and dining, the companies and the brokers, and Zillow was in like Flynn. And we just had never experienced that kind of publicly traded money before. As far as Zillow's itself, they're still trying to figure out how to make a living. Now, I want to be candid. They have a $35 billion market value. They're still trying to figure out $1 billion of their revenue comes from their Premier Agent program. They still need real estate agents, advertising and marketing with them to make it go. At the same time, they want to come over here and compete. Now, Showing Time to me, You know, it's a $500 million acquisition for a $35 billion company. I know so many people freaked out. Oh, it's data. Let me tell you, Zillow already has the data. You know, this is a showing app. It's not much more than that. It's just an acquisition. I think the big thing is this. We have publicly traded money in the space. We have people who believe that technology is going to replace agents. In some of the transactions I've been involved in, I'm going to say this. Technology should replace some of the agents I just did business with because they were non-entities. After the deal got put together, they disappeared. So here's what I'm going to share with you. It's about fundamentals. It's about customer service. It's about exceeding people's expectations. It's about doing the nightmare of a real estate transaction, walking people through the landmines that are everywhere to be found and doing it in a professional manner, doing it in such a way that people go, that was first class. We have to have first class. We have to have superior customer service, negotiation skills, communication skills. We got to be professional agents. And if we are, we won't be replaced by Zillow, Pillow, or anyone else coming down the pike. So ultimately, what do I see for the rest of the year? A raging hot real estate market. There is a bunch of inventory going to come online later in the year. You know, the country's going to, in April, America is going to have 125 million vaccinations. Okay. I mean, this thing is coming. We're hosting our first event in May in Arizona. Things are opening up. And so there is this pent-up demand to move. There is a dynamic where people are going to be able to still work from home. So there's a lot of relocation coming up. There's a lot of purchasing going up. I think you can be at the center of the storm, but you have to be fundamentally connected to your database. Let them know I can help you here locally. I can help you 1 to 2 hours away, and I can help you all the way across the country. I'm part of a network. I'm part of a brand. I'm part of a team that can make that happen for you. So the market's going to be raging hot. I just say real estate, brokers and companies, don't make short-term decisions with the latest technology that comes along where you give over the fundamentals of your business to someone who ultimately becomes your competitor. Just be careful.
Brian, that is great insight. Thanks once again for being part of our group. And I wish you
Okay, guys, give me 1 second.
continued success.
I have to find. There we go. Okay. I'm moving along today. So, I mean, that is really, really hits the spot. I think that we could all relate to that. That's why I thought it was so important to share that with you. You know, 14 minutes of information that we all needed to have and need to understand. And I think one thing we do, all of us, is we tend to go away from our brand. We tend to think that we can be our own brand and that we could, you know, we don't need the resources and the tools and everything that we have in front of us that are given to us. Sometimes when things are given to us, they don't have as much value to us as if we purchase it or put money out for it or, you know, work hard for it. So I think that, you know, I really want everyone to realize a few things. This is some of the things that I had gotten out of it. There we go. Okay. So what Brian said, provide a superior customer experience. Otherwise, just step aside and let the technology take over for the clients, right? If you're not going to be, you know, if you're not going to extend an experience for your clients, then they don't need us, right? Then they can go to a computer or whatever is going to take over for us. Leverage your broker's distinctive value proposition to strengthen your brand. We have a brand. We have a value proposition, right? When you go around and you're driving around neighborhoods, you see a Weichert sign from far away. You drive by other homes, you're like, is that a contractor? Is that a painter? You don't know what signs are out there, right? Jim Weichert invests in the signage to keep it competitive and to keep it consistent in our neighborhoods. It's because it's part of our market share, right? It's what sets us apart. Okay, so really take hold of that instead of always pushing yourself away from what we have. Okay, make your market by prospecting unlisted inventory to create a greater supply of sellers and buyers. Go on, Google people, find out their names, find out their phone numbers, give them a call, see what they're willing to do. Everybody wants to have a conversation. If you think you're confused about what's going on in this market or you're unsure about what's going on, think about the average buyer and seller, right? They want a professional to speak to. They want to speak to a consultant that's going to help them get through there, right? So go door hanging around neighborhoods, talk to the neighbors, make phone calls, really get yourself out there because people want to know what's going on. Do not do business with the disruptor Zillow, who will commoditize your business. We knew it was happening back then. We know what's going on now, but some of us continue to support them, right? And that's what's keeping them alive. So we are the ones, as the realtors, right? We have to be the ones who take control of our business. And refer overflow leads to your brokerage's office teams to nurture future buyers and sellers. There's a lot of agents here. We're growing, and they're very highly motivated and very professional, and you can provide them with some of these overflow leads that you have so you can still keep a relationship with your clients, and your clients are still being serviced the way they're supposed to be with superior customer experience, right? Because that's what you want them to remember you by, not that you dropped the ball because you had so many things going on. So again, I thought that was really very interesting. So provide a superior customer experience, knowledgeable of the market and experts at navigating through to help buyers and sellers win, leveraging the buyer consultation and listing presentation to professionally show buyers and sellers the difference, and leading with all under one roof to perfect the home buying and selling experience. So we have everything that you need, and we're asking you to take hold of it. Brian Buffini was not speaking about any specific brand, right? He was unbiased, but it sounded exactly like he was talking about our company and what we have to offer and our support. So again, a reason why I thought it was so important to share with you. And then lastly, leverage your broker's distinctive value proposition to strengthen your brand. So Wickert is one of the largest providers of real estate services in business for 51 years. You know what you're getting, right? You know what you've gotten in the past few years. You know the support, the tools, the technology that you have, and we're continually growing. So entrepreneurial vision is in our DNA, founded in 1969 and led by Jim and James Wickert, one of the largest family-owned real estate companies in the United States, serves key markets across US with 500 plus offices, nearly 200,000 customers annually, and 18 integrated companies focused on real estate and home ownership services. So yes, I know you guys know this, but sometimes we all need a reminder, right? Sometimes we all have to sit in the morning and say, what are we grateful for today, right? Because we lose sight of because life gets, life takes control of us, and we focus on the bad and not focus on the good. So I think it's a really great time for us to just get back to our basics and get back to our roots, especially in a challenging market like today, and literally take hold of what we have in front of us to keep us successful and keep our business moving forward. So with that, we will get into our office awards recognition. So again, I believe that Joe shared a lot of our numbers with us, but we were at 86% of our objective. So we did not hit 100% of our objective, but if you look year over year, we're 22% over last year, okay, in listings, right? So listings are down by 40% in the state and probably nationally. And we as an office, as a team, are up 22%. Revenue units, we were at 82%. So revenue units, again, just to explain to everybody, because I know this gets a little tricky, is the sales you hand in. So any sales you hand in, not when you close it, when you actually hand it into Silvana, that's what's considered a revenue unit. So whether you're representing the buyer on a sale, or you have a listing and someone put an offer in, or you have a offer accepted on your listing, those are revenue units. Okay, those are sales as you hand them in. When we are 40% over year to date 2020, okay, so we're still having an amazing year. Closed revenue, those are actually anything that closes, right? So we're down 86% in April, but up over 55% year to date. So we're really having a great year. And I know how challenging it is for you guys. I really see it. It's knocking some of you down. I can see it. I know you are adaptable. You pick yourself up and you keep going, which is amazing. But this year has been more challenging than we could ever have expected. But I just want you to know you're doing an amazing job. So top producers in dollar volume this month, we have Jackie, who is also our parking space winner, Mara Glauberg, and Christina McCarthy. Christina with her little pregnant belly, almost due the end of this month or the beginning of June. Yep. And she's taking advantage of the market while she still can before that fourth baby's born. So congratulations to all of you. And then our top 10, we have Jackie, Mara, Christina, Brenda Lee, Christina Muller, Joanna Albanese, Dominique Skura, Deb Reagan, Jennifer Fox, and Michael Elm. So congratulations to our top 10 in dollar volume for the month of April. As far as listings, Jackie, Dominique Skura, who's our parking space winner, or second parking space winner of the month, and Brenda Lee. And then our top 7 in listings is Jackie, Dominique, Brenda Lee, Kristen Muller, Christina McCarthy, Gloria LaForgia, and Vin Dotwani. So congratulations, guys, on an awesome month, especially with listings, right? Listings are key in this market. So that's amazing. And then our top sales and buyers, we have Jackie, Mara Glauberg, who's our third parking space winner of the month, and Brenda Lee. And then our top 7 is Jackie, Mara, Brenda Lee, Deb Reagan, Christina McCarthy, Jen Fox, and Michael Elm. So congratulations to everybody. Everybody really had a tremendous month this month. As far as Recordly Network dollar volume and combined units, Christina McCarthy is our winner of the month. And then lastly, congratulations on accelerating. So Deb Reagan accelerated to 90%, Marissa Poston accelerated to 90%, and Cheryl Towie accelerated to 100% this month. So congratulations, ladies. It's amazing. A great way to get a raise in your business for sure. So we're going to go over our birthdays from last week as well as this week, just because last week's meeting went, very long with Mary. And so I just want to make sure everybody gets recognized. Dominique, Christina, Peter Lee was yesterday. Tomorrow is Virginia Carpenter, Casey Stabile. Oh, and then me. I'm on Mother's Day. So you can say I'm cheated or I'm not cheated. I'm not sure, but it is what it is, right? I've had to live with that for a long time. And then anniversaries, we have Joanne Bickers, Marlena Randazzo, and Tabitha Williams, and Brenda Lee. So congratulations and happy anniversary, happy birthday. May is a great month for many reasons, mostly because it gets warmer out and flowers start to grow. And if you love cherry blossoms, you probably missed them by now. Calls with Kevin. So we've been doing these Monday at 12 p.m. and they've been really amazing. Kevin is, as you know, very consistent in what he does. And he just listens to what I tell him to do. Every single assignment I give him, he does it because he thinks that's what he's supposed to do. So with that, he has a lot of opportunities coming up. He has a lot of appointments. And what he did this past week was he just actually made calls in front of the agents. He just made call after call after call. And, he's so, it doesn't faze him at all. And he enjoys the challenge, but he's grown because, he had to do that for a long time. So the agents were sitting there. They were literally scared and they weren't even going to be talking to anybody, right? They were like all hunched over and like scared and nervous. And he was just like making calls away. So pretty soon we're going to start off with him making the calls and then we're all going to make calls together just so we have that sort of support around us and we're not as afraid as we used to be. So it's not as scary when you hear him because nobody was mean to him. Everybody had a conversation with him and you realize that people aren't as bad as we assume they're going to be. So join us. Huh?
Kevin looks like an angel in that picture.
He is an angel. That's why I have this picture. He has a halo. He did this on one of our Zoom calls and he didn't realize I would snap a picture of it and keep it forever. I'm very quick when it comes to printing my screen now. I know how to do it and I can do it like this. So watch out, people. So Stephanie.
Good morning, everybody. I have a few things that I didn't get a chance to go over last week. The marketing department made some really nice emails in my whiteboard for you guys to utilize. You can kind of set them up, schedule them out like maybe one a week, which is what I've been doing with a lot of people. They're all geared toward, everything we're always talking about now with the way the market is. So that the template names are Whitecap Marketing Seller email 1, 2, 3, and 4. they're plug and play. You don't have to do anything to them. Your signature is already there. Your signature merge tag is already there. Everything's there for you. All you have to do is set it up for your people. So, let me know if you need any help with that. On the next slide, I sent an email about this too earlier in the week that I'm going to go to in-person small group trainings. I'm going to do on Thursday mornings at 10 o'clock, either the main conference room where the meetings usually are, or maybe in this small conference room, depending on how many people we have. And I'm going to do topic specific. So tomorrow's topic will be creating a single contact, as well as creating a Cole Realty resource bulk upload list, which is kind of a hot topic now, and it's been really successful. So I have directions that go along with it and everything like that. So if you are not able to attend, I'm actually not recording it because it is going to be specifically live. I'm going to try to do no Zoom, because we're kind of zoomed out. I think a lot of people are. So I think that just a small group trainings might work. But what I am doing this evening, I am going to be doing it on Zoom for the dual career and anyone who can't attend tomorrow. So if you want to kind of see this topic on Zoom instead, I will be presenting this evening, kind of piggybacking with Missy's training as well at 7:30. So just check out her email from this morning for that link. I'm going to be on that training. For the in-person, also just, kind of keep, bring your laptops, make sure that you're prepared for the class. So then I also came up with a small, we've been doing the pre-made marketing idea every month. I did one for May, rain or shine. I have all your real estate needs covered. I use Cheryl's picture because she utilizes these a lot. So I have a feeling she's going to want me to make it anyway for her. So it's a great drop-by gift. The weather is getting better, although it's not today, but most days it's been really good. I'm getting a lot of those at my house. So I think that a lot of agents are doing this across the board. So let me know if you need these done. I can create them and print a bunch out for you if you want to do that. I just thought it would be cute if you attach a little drink umbrella or something, just cute, just to kind of save money instead of buying umbrellas. So I have a link there where I found some pretty cheap umbrella, little drink umbrellas if you want to do that as well. And I actually forgot to make a slide about this. Next Thursday, the 13th, we're doing our MTS workshop. It's not going to interfere with my in-person training, so it's at 9 or 12. The 13th. I sent an email yesterday. I will have it in my slides again next week. We are using Microsoft Teams. So in order to get the link for that, you just need to register. So I included a link yesterday as well as a QR code that you can just scan and register really easily. So we're only doing registrations because we need to keep track of, how many people we have registered for the higher ups want to know. Oh, and the topic is going to be listing machine and social, that add-on that we use. Does anybody have any questions for me? I want to keep it short. Feel free. I'm in the office. Feel free to give me a call. But any big questions on any of the things I just went over, or in general?
Nope, they're quiet today. So
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie. So some office updates. Please, when you submit your transactions, submit your transaction worksheet for Silvana. I know you guys don't realize something. That transaction worksheet has a unique identifying number on the top of it, and that allows her to put it in and get a lot of the information. Okay, so it's right on Forms Online. If you're doing your paperwork on Forms Online, or you're doing it, that way, you're going to have all your information in there anyway. Mostly, maybe you're just going to have to check off a few boxes. But we need your transaction worksheet with your deals. Okay, otherwise you're making her work triple. Okay, and it's easy for each person to do a transaction worksheet with each deal. So please, please, please provide that.
Missy, if I could just make a suggestion, in
Sure.
order to get the unique number, you have to save that particular form as a PDF. So that
Yes.
generates the number.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, thank you, Lori. So you couldn't just go in. Yes, you would have to have that transaction in the Forms Online, and you click onto that transaction, and then that'll bring you to that the forms and you go into transaction. If you just go in and want to print out a transaction worksheet, because you wrote your contract or whatever the case may be, or you didn't do it through there, then Lori's exactly right. It will not have that that identifying number, that unique number. So that's why we really ask you to put everything in there. It just makes it easier, and then you have everything that you need. If you ever have to go back or change anything, then it's very minimal work for you to do that. All the work is literally up front the first time you put it in, and after that you have all the information there. So the state eviction moratorium will last another 2 months after Governor Murphy declares at the end of the COVID-19 health crisis. So right now he extended it again to May 15th. Okay, so which means that extended at this point till July 15th. Okay, so I just want to keep you up to date with the moratorium because it's something we've all been watching. There's a lot of landlords out there who would love to sell, but aren't sure they'll be able to get their tenants out of the property. So they're waiting for this to be lifted and then the 2 months to go by, so then they can actually evict someone if they need to. Remind. So I'm not really 100% of what Remind is. And I know yesterday, if you went on to Just MLS, there was a pop-up box that said Remind Pro is now available, and they have trainings available right now. So they have live webinars that you can sign up for. When you click the OK button, it brought you right to a sign up bar for webinars. So I don't have a lot of experience in it. I don't use the MLS like I used to. I will do a class just so I learn about it, but I don't really know about it now. So what Remind is an MLS platform that provides agents with modern tools and new data to do more business. So it's a third party that you can access from your MLS. The core tenets of Remind are discover, track, and engage, and you can do a CMA 360, which is the only comps analysis in the industry that simultaneously compares both MLSs and off-market records. Okay, so that's a quick description of Remind, but everybody should take the time and do the class and learn more about it and be able to use it within their MLS. And then again, just so there's no confusion with this, the CE requirements for all your 12 CEs was extended till May 31st because of COVID and because of them adding on the fair housing towards the end. So you have until May 31st to satisfy these credits. Once you satisfy them, at this time, you can go on to the Real Estate Commission qualifying questionnaire, because you have to fill out that qualifying questionnaire as part of your renewal process. Okay, so make sure you go on to the Real Estate Commission, fill that out, and just answer this, I believe, 6 questions it asks you. And then once you've done that, the last part of this is that you will have to pay your $100 if you are a salesperson and $200 if you're a broker salesperson, okay, to renew your license. And I believe it's coming out around May 31st, okay? You will see it in your Money Matters, okay? You'll see it when you go on to Weichert One. That's how you have to pay it, because the Real Estate Commission will not take separate payments from each agent. They'll take one payment from each broker, okay? So you have to pay it through your broker, and then the broker has to supply the payment to them. So make sure you do that so that there's no interruption in your real estate license, and there's no additional fees, because $200 is a huge late fee. So make sure you're on top of this. And then DocuSign, how many people are we up to now, Silvana? So 60 out of 113 agents have successfully linked into their DocuSign accounts. So make sure, if you have not and you need help or whatever you need, whatever assistance you need, make sure you do it. This is an unbelievable resource for you to be able to have your documents signed electronically. And soon there's going to be a transaction management portion of it that's going to be rolled out. And it's all going to be put together as one platform. Okay, so make sure that you've logged in. If you have not taken advantage of your free DocuSign account, make sure that you do that. Yes, rooms, correct. Yep. So while mortgage rates have trended up in recent months, they are still historically low. So relative to 1 year ago, housing actually is still more affordable, and that's really thanks to this low mortgage rate environment we find ourselves in. So just to show you a comparison of what the difference in rates, how the rates make a big difference in someone's mortgage payment. At today's rates, at about 2.875 for a $475,000 loan, it's 29.26. In 2010, at 4.09, it was 32.48. In the 2000s, it was at 6.29, it was 38.92. And then in the 1990s, it was 8.12 and 44. So that's a huge difference. Look at the difference between today and 1990s. And I shared with you guys often that when I bought my first house in 1988, our first condo, the interest rates were 12% then. And I worked for a bank and they gave me a discount to 8%. And I thought 8% was the best rate you could ever have in your life. Never thinking in my life I would see anything like this. So it's all relative to what you know and what you've dealt with in the past. So even if it goes up to 3.5, those are still unbelievable rates, right? So we really have to take that into perspective. So Anthony is busy getting ready for our Cinco de Mayo party right now. He's running around mixing drinks, doing all this great stuff for us. It sounded much better, Carol, the way I said it, okay? Yeah, so he will share with us next week. We'll go over the state of the market, but I know how much you guys love the trivia questions of the week. So not only do I have this week's, but I have last week's too. So recent data from Zillow indicates that vaccination is an important consideration within the real estate market. What percentage of Americans would be comfortable moving if there was a widespread vaccine distribution? A, 70%.
A.
B, 30%.
B, final answer.
Whatever
Lanny says.
Whatever Lanny says.
I think it's A.
C, final answer.
Guess what? Lanny's right. It's A, 70%. And I swear I do not share these questions with Lanny prior to the meeting. Now, whether Anthony does or not, I don't know, but I do not share them. Okay? That's what's happening. See, Lanny's reading the paper every day when she's sitting here and she's learning everything. In fact, yesterday she goes, Missy, I have to read this article to you. That the article stated in Star Ledger yesterday that home prices have appreciated in New Jersey $100,000 in the past year. Isn't that crazy? Really crazy. So, okay, question number 2. Dennis, maybe you shouldn't yell it out so quickly, okay, buddy? Maybe you should wait a second. Based on a 2019 National Association of Realtors, what percentage of buyers felt that one-stop shopping made the process more efficient?
C, final answer.
D. D. 56%.
C,
What was your answer, Dennis?
C,
It was?
yeah.
D.
Well, it's B, people, 79%. And I thought you said B, final answer, Dennis, when you first said it. You're too funny.
That when you take a test, your first choice.
Always your first choice, right? Never second guess yourself. So 79%. Wow. And we have one-stop shopping. So aren't you guys lucky today? This differentiates you from other realtors and other companies, and differentiation is the key in sales. So today is our agent appreciation luncheon here at 12 o'clock. We're gonna have a Cinco de Mayo food truck event, and obviously because the weather did not want to cooperate with us today and have us all outside, we will be safely eating inside, okay? So make sure you come. It's gonna be a fun time just to see everybody. Absorption rate. So I know a lot of you, we go through the absorption rate numbers each month. I'm not sure, each week. I'm not sure how much you actually understand it. So I just want to make sure that, wait, I'm going to run for 1 second because my computer is about to die. Excuse me. I just saw the green light go on. Oh.
You don't have to, your face. Come to them. Yeah, take care of Jeffrey's son. Jeffrey's issues, yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I have to remember to bring my charger from here on in. Okay, almost done. Saved. Okay, so this is a good graph for you to share with your clients or for you to better understand what an absorption rate means. So simply put, absorption rate, if no other homes were to go on the market today, how many months would it take to absorb the current inventory? So that's what I'm sharing with you when I share with you the markets, the towns around us. So seller's market, less than 6 months. Neutral market, between 6 to 7 months. And buyer's market, more than 7 months. So also, seller's markets is where homes will appreciate. It's what we're in right now, obviously. A neutral market, home prices will only appreciate with inflation. And then a buyer's market, home prices will depreciate, right? So a lot of us have been in many of these markets over the past 10, 15, 20 years. So it's good to be in a seller's market again. So what I did here was the number in black in total units active was last week's compared to this week's in red, okay? So just to give you a comparison where we were week over week. And as you can see, in every market, we are basically at 1 month inventory or less, okay? So Morris Plains went up 3 listings, Parsippany went up 3, but if you look at how many went under contract in the past 30 days, it's basically a wash for all of these, right? I mean, more homes went under contract than are available in Morris Plains. It's just incredible when you look at the numbers these ways. And it's a great way to share with your clients too, so that they get a better understanding. Boonton, Morris Township, Randolph, Montville, and Rockaway Township. So every market that we're seeing is 1 or 1.5 months absorption rate, which is really, really incredible. So new homes on the market. So Jackie has 19 Dogwood Circle in Montville. It's actually a auction.com property. And so the reason I wanted to bring this up, because I know there's a lot of confusion when someone has to make an offer on one of these websites, and they're all so different. So I learned yesterday, because I called them because there was a lot of questions on what to do. Because the buyer has to put a credit card for $2,500 in order to put an offer in, right? So in good faith, they want to make sure that the people who are putting offers in aren't just doing it just to see what they can get a home for, that they are actually interested in purchasing this home. The buyer has to put a $2,500 deposit down. So the buyer is the one who has to go on auction.com, not the agent. So what happens is, if that buyer is the one who receives the winning offer, when they're doing the contract, that's when they add their agent's name in, so their agent will be paid their commission. So just so you understand, for auction.com, you cannot put it on unless you're going to take your client's credit card and take all their information and do it for them, which I don't know why you would. They have to go on to auction.com and do it. Okay, and then they'll add you once it's time, if they're the winning bidder, then they'll add you to the contract, and then that's how you will be paid your commission. So no, they don't get charged $2,500 if they don't win the bid. It's just, again, someone's going to think twice if they're not really serious about purchasing a home about putting $2,500 down, right? So that's really, it's so that people move forward in good faith, and they're not just, putting it out there, not caring whether they get it or not. Mark Farley has 56B East Blackwell Street in Dover for $260. Lori, I know you're on. You may want to talk about this property just because there's a lot to it. Maybe she's not on anymore. Okay, so Lori has a commercial property in Boonton Town. So what you see here is a house.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so okay, so actually we have an accepted offer.
Ah,
So
great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
thank you.
Jackie also has 53 Rockaway Boulevard in Parsippany for $330,000. That would even be around anymore. And Marissa has a new exclusive on the market. It's a multifamily in North Bergen. If you're on, Marissa, feel free to talk about it. Good.
How are you guys? Yeah, so this is a 2-family home. Each unit has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, plus there is a finished basement and a 2-car garage with 2 off-street parking spots. I have it exclusive now, having photos taken tomorrow, so possibly putting it on the market on maybe Monday, and it's listed for $650, which I think is a little bit on the low side. So we'll see how it goes. Also, I have my listing in Netcong. We just reduced the price yesterday, $10,000 to $349, and that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom colonial, right on the Roxbury border.
Congrats. Congratulations on your new listing and on your getting your client to go to reduce their price.
Thank you.
So these were the listings from last week. Again, I'm just going to keep them in the slides because we didn't send out the slides last week. And this way people have the listings available to them. Anyone have anything coming soon on the horizon in search of any price reductions or rental listings they want to
I have a
introduce?
coming soon.
Hey,
Gorgeous. Hey, so
Mm.
okay, it's technically in Byram, Sparta, and it is a gorgeous move-in ready 4-bedroom colonial, 3 full baths, 1/2 baths on about an acre, gorgeous outside, finished basement. I mean, it is. Wait until you guys see the pictures. It is. And we are going to list it for $575, which is really good. So pictures will be up probably maybe this weekend. So we'll see. It's going to go live hopefully by end of week. And then we're really just going to do limited showings for next weekend only. And then I'm thinking it's going to be gone. So let me
Awesome.
know if you want to see
Congratulations.
once it hits.
Can't wait to see that Instagram video that you're going to do over it.
It'll be good.
Awesome. Congrats. Anyone else have anything coming on they want to share? Oh, you guys are really quiet. Very, very quiet. Okay, then. So thank you for your time today. I hope to see a lot of your faces in person in about an hour or so we can enjoy each other's company and have a nice lunch together and enjoy Lori's Jello shots and everything else that we have coming to us. So please, 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 for nothing else, come in for that. Okay. Even if you don't want to see anybody. And thank you again for your time today. Let me see these faces.
Thanks, Missy.
Thanks, Carlos.